solving a quadratic equation using a completing square method. So the only thing that I like about using a completing square method when solving quadratic equation is that it saves time. You will not waste time, start looking for numbers that when you multiply you should get a 24, or when you add them you should get a 10. You will not waste that time. And the other one, for using a formula, you will not waste time drawing that symbol for long division at each stage. And you might also forget some features like negative signs. But for this one, it is clear and straightforward. All what you need to do is just to make sure that this x squared here has a value of 1 only. Always make sure that it has a value of 1. So if there was a 2 here, we would have said over a 2, so that 2 and 2 should do cancel. Then you apply the same 2 to the rest. That's all. You also make sure that 24, the constant crosses the equal sign. The constant should always stand alone. So let us solve this simple example so that you understand what I'm talking about. So here what we do, the first step is to make sure that 24 stands alone. So we are going to say x squared minus 10x is equal to negative 24, because the additive inverse of a 24 is negative 24. So if we can put a negative 24 here and a negative 24, here we are going to have a 0. Then here we are going to have a negative 24. That's why we have come up with a 24. Other people, they will just say this 24 will jump the equal sign and the sign will change. That's all. The next step that you do is to get the half of this and square it. Get half of this. Forget about this x. Ignore this x. Get the half of negative 10. Then you square it. Then you apply to this other side again. So we are going to say x squared minus a 10 over a 2 is equal to a negative 24. So the half of negative 10, it is basically a 5, a negative 5. So we are going to say x squared minus a 5, then square it. Here it must be a positive, because this negative belongs to 10. So we are going to have a negative 5. Then you square it. Then you do the same the other side. You say equal to a negative 24. Then you say plus, open bracket, then you say negative 5. Then you square it. Then when you reach this stage, you are almost done, because here we are going just to say all these terms are squared, so we will just put them together. Yes, if you have something like this, always you put them together. You say x squared positive times negative, it will be negative a 5. Then you put them in blanket, you square it. Sorry for this one. Yeah, you just square outside. So this squared belongs to 5 and x. So here we are going to say is equal to a negative 24 plus 5 times 5, it is 25. Then negative times negative, it is positive. So we are going to say plus a 25. Then at this stage now, here we are going to have 1 after working out these terms. They are like terms, so we can add them. So when we add them, we are going to have a 1. So we are going to say x minus a5, you put them in brackets, squared is equal to a 1, a positive 1. So to get rid of this square, we are going to introduce square roots both sides. So for this one, it will be a plus minus, because we have introduced a square root. Then this is square root and this square, they will cancel each other. Then we are going to say x minus a5 is equal to plus or minus 1, because the square root of 1 is 1. So here, this is simple now. You can just say, here you can just say x minus a5 is equal to -1. Then you make -5 cross the equal sign. You are going to have something like this. X is equal to -1, -1. Then because it is negative, after crossing the equal sign, it will be +5. Then your x will be equal to a 4. Then you go to a positive. You are going to say x minus a5 is equal to a positive 1. So you say x is equal to 1 plus, because it is negative, after crossing the equal sign, it will be plus a 5. Then your x will be equal to a 6. So these are the values of x. If you want, you can prove these answers by putting them where there is x here. If you include a 4 here, you are going to find out that after working out, the whole of this expression will be a 0, because the equation is saying the whole of this is equal to a 0. So when you plug a 4, you are going to find that this is a 0. If you plug a 6 again, you find that this is a 0. If it doesn't give you a 0, it means you have found wrong answers. The values of x, you have found the wrong answers. But for this one, you can prove them. You're going to find that all these will give you a 0. Thank you. Bye-bye.